name is B-Boy SPINdian. I represent Supreme Beingz crew. I'm a break roots athlete, and I represent Orlando, Florida.
That's an interesting name, man. How did you get that? Was that a name given to you, or did you come
My
up with that name yourself?
yeah, my sister gave me that name.
Sister gave you that name?
Yeah,
What's the origin of that name?
that's my ethnicity. So my mom is from India, and my dad's from Venezuela. And
Nice.
so when I first started breaking, I was trying to figure out a name for myself, and I thought of the dumbest names, like the most
What was some
corniest
of
names.
those?
Dude, you don't want to hear, bro. It was bad.
Okay.
Yeah, one of them was B-Boy Climax. Yeah, no. I just think.
Taken a little bit differently nowadays.
Yeah. Dude, for real. And so like I was telling my sister, and she was like, you know, like what about like SPINdian? Cause like you spin,
Right.
and you're Spanish and Indian. I was like, yeah, that's dope, you know, because at that time I was doing a lot of Zulu spins.
Right.
So I love doing that move, and so she was like, yeah, she coined that term. So.
Growing up, like, were you always exposed to like art in the family?
Well, like it was different because my dad being Venezuelan and my mom being from India, it was culturally like it was a huge mix, and so it was cool seeing both sides of it. I would say like that stuff like creating and art, I think I just fell upon. I kind of just found out myself. My mom put me in different things. Like she put me in piano like when I was a very young age, and so I really had fun with that. I used to draw a lot as a kid. I just love creating. I started video editing as a kid too. I was obsessed with Star Wars. And so I'd make a lot of like stop play animation with Legos and stuff like that when I was really young. And so I was always creating, I think, as a kid. Yeah, my sister got me like more into like hip hop because she always listened to hip hop. So I always had like an idea what breaking was, but yeah, I didn't really get into it till like later.
You mentioned that you took piano lessons and
Yeah.
all that stuff. You still play now?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you're
a
still
lot.
involved in music, from what I understand.
Yeah.
So, what kind of who are like your musical influences? Like when you're making music, like who do you look up to?
Oh, I've always looked up to Q-Tip from
Nice.
Tribe Called Quest. Yeah, man, their last album they did, actually that inspired me to start making music because it was what was it? Was it We Got It From Here?
Oh yeah.
That
the
last album they
Austrians
did.
album
Yeah.
After
After Five, yeah. And I remember listening to it and how it made me feel, like the energy, like they were able to share that with me without them being there, and I was like, yo, that's powerful. Like, that's a dope way to look at it. So I just like I want to do that, you know.
Yeah.
So I started making music myself.
That's tight. So mainly Q-Tip. Are there any other people that maybe in your life like that are around you that kind of influence you
To make
start making beats?
Actually, it's funny. The person that got me onto like Machine, I used iMachine first. It was the mobile app for it. Was Omen.
Nice.
Yeah, back when he was living in Miami, I went through their house that they were living at the time. It was Omen and Phantom. They were living with some roommates. And I remember sitting there and I saw Omen like playing on his phone, and he was using iMachine. So I asked like, what is that? And like I downloaded it myself, and then I just started going with it. Yeah.
Nice. How long have you been making beats for now?
Dude, making beats, I want to say 2015 or maybe 16. Yeah, somewhere around there.
Did you grow up in Orlando, or did you come
Yeah.
in from somewhere else?
Nah, I'm originally from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay. And that's where you got exposed to hip hop?
Yeah.
Over there?
Yeah.
So when did you come to Orlando, and how soon after coming to Orlando did you link up with your crew, Supreme Beingz?
Okay, so I came to Orlando, I think in 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, it was my sophomore year. And Supreme, so I met Phantom. I went they had this place called Euphoria in Coral Springs.
Right.
And he was there, and I remember there was a jam and we were ciphering, and yeah, Phantom pulled me aside and he was like, hey, like, you know, I think he said like something about like, you know, I like your potential, and he's like, I want to work with you, like I want to mentor you.
Yeah.
And I was hyped, dude. Like I was like, yeah, like, because I loved it, because the thing is I was so frustrated at that time just moving in the middle of school, you know what I mean, getting a new place and things like that, and so I was just breaking, everything I was doing was just breaking.
Yeah.
So for him to say that, I was like, I'm on board, dude. So like, yeah, like I would go to Euphoria a lot. He would train me, and then I met Omen soon after from Catalyst Miami, and then I think in 2000, I want to say 16 or 17, they battled me in to Supreme.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. That's dope. So, as far as your time in in Orlando, I know you had done the whole entire tour, right?
Yeah.
Like you did every stop on
Yeah.
the tour, and then you had defining move or
Break roots. Yeah.
kind of sponsored you. Like, how did that feel? Like having the community kind of come together and like,
Oh, dude,
you know,
yeah.
like
Yeah, that whole experience with like the community, like I guess getting involved with that, it was different. I was super grateful for it. Like it was a surprise to me. I'm cool with the people that I break with and the people that come to these practice spots, and I always share with them. But to see how many people like were helping me out on this journey, it was beautiful to me, and it was a different experience. Like you said, like there's a little bit pressure involved because like, you know, you go to these jams, usually you just fly yourself out and it's your own money. And so it's like, okay, if I lose, I lose, and like I go back to the drawing board, whatever. But now the people are investing their own money into you. So it's like, okay, I want to give them a return on their investment now. You know what I mean? So it made it a little more special. And like just, yeah, I'm just super grateful for that whole experience, you know? Yeah.
I
Cool.
understand, like outside of competition and things like that, you're also involved in the organization itself. Like, can you talk a little bit about your role with like Break Roots and the work that you do with them?
Yeah, so when I first moved to Orlando, Jolene, she has the Defining Movement and she has Guidance Kids, and they teach at different schools. And so I started working with her and teaching classes to kids. And then they wanted to do something with the Olympics coming up, so they created this thing called Break Roots, and that's basically like to give people opportunity to like to make a career out of this breaking thing. If they want to take the path of the Olympics, they help with that. So like with training, with you know, anything you need from like they're building it together to like a nutritionist, like training for it, there's a schedule for it, and like having a coach behind it. So I was like kind of the first person to like try that to see like if it would work and everything.
So you were the guinea pig.
Yeah, the guinea pig, and like everything just like was falling into place. And so right now, like Omen is the coach, and I'm the athlete, and so we hope to get more people involved so that more people can have this opportunity and take this pathway to the Olympics. But yeah, that's kind of where it is right now. Yeah, thanks.
So as far as the training regimen, we all know how rigorous the physical part of training is. You know, a big part of competition is also your mental, your mental strength, your mental wellness, and things like that. So what are things that you did or still do on the non-physical side, mentally, like to kind of keep yourself balanced, keep yourself ready, keep yourself healthy?
Oh man, you know, I meditate a lot, but outside of just like, I think self-care and stuff like that, I think a lot of it has to do with the things I like to do outside of breaking. So like video editing and I draw sometimes and making music, I think it gives me that balance to like kind of step away from the dance, but still be creative. And that inspires me then when I come back to my dance, like it's not always just like creating just movement, but it's just creating in general. You know, so it refreshes and kind of puts a reset button on me. So I think that gives me a lot of balance. So I'm really grateful for like the things that I do outside of breaking because it helps a lot.
Sure. So what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna ask you some just kind of off the hip, candid questions. Has nothing to do with breaking or training or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
So if you could pick any producer to produce a soundtrack about your life.
Producer.
Yeah. What producer would produce the soundtrack to your life up to this point?
Damn, dude. I want to say Madlib. I loved his Sounds of the Ancestor or Sound of Ancestors. I think that was the last album he did.
That last beat tape.
It was fire, bro. That was super cohesive album. Dang man, I like you know, rest in peace. I love someone I always wanted to work with and I always admired their way of producing was Mac Miller, and is that the like Larry Fisherman, his whole like.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah, dude. Like I loved like the concepts. He was super conceptual with how he made his beats and stuff, and how he made like run-on sentences and all those mixes, and yeah, I love how he put together his work. So for sure, yeah.
And now, kind of similar question, but this is more pertaining in the visual sense. If there was to be a biopic made about your journey, you know, doing the whole Olympic thing, what actor would play B-Boy SPINdian?
What actor? Dude, I never thought of that before. What actor? That's a good ass question, bro. That's a good ass question. I never thought of that before. I don't know, bro. That's a good question. I have my favorite actors, but I don't know, like, damn, dude. It's not even a good answer.
Like, I couldn't pick an actress, but I would want an anime made out of my story.
Oh, dude, I got it. For a character, anime character, Saitama. From One Punch.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he's dope. He's dope.
That's super dope. Yeah, right? Last thing here before we sign out on the interview. Do you have any shout outs that you want to give to the people, anybody that you want to thank, like for your whole journey up to now? Oh,
dude, my family, they, especially like the past, I want to say 3 years, they've been coming to like all my jams.
Nice.
And so that's super special. The community, I mean, especially after this whole Break Roots run and the fundraising and seeing like how many people were involved and like showed me the support, like that was beautiful. My crew, Supreme Beingz, for inspiring me and pushing me. Yeah, dude. Just hip hop community in general, everyone, because we all, I think, build off each other, inspire each other, and we definitely wouldn't be what we're doing right now if it wasn't for so-and-so and this and that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So everything comes from everywhere, and yeah, the people.